Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lacey and I'm the owner of Milky Candles. I have only been operating my business for a year and a few months now, and I just want to share what I've learned within that year. So I'm going to break this up into 4 different categories. I'm going to break it up between products, engagement from customers or people who follow your business, time management, and money, honey. And yes, if you're a subscriber for a long time, I cut my hair and I feel so good about it, and it takes me such little time to do it. It's been a life changer. Starting off with products, one of the first things that I realized right away was it's a little difficult for me to grasp how much inventory I should have available, inventory that is ready to sell, and also inventory of raw material. It's obviously important for you to have your products that you're ready to sell on your shelf, but it's equally as important to actually have the raw materials in inventory. This can become a little bit difficult for me because I sell seasonal candles as well. So some of the scents, I don't know if I should buy them in large bulk because I don't know if it's going to be a waste of money and if it's going to be a scent that people even want. However, I would rather have too much product than not enough. So I also think that goes within your budget and how much you're able to spend on that product, but having backup of your raw materials is so crucial. That includes your business cards. If you run out of business cards, you just have cardstock that you can print on. Sometimes we forget to update our inventory and make it accurate, and someone might order, the other day someone ordered a melanin candle from me and I did not have any more because I sold them on Etsy, which I don't always sell my candles on Etsy, but I have like a select few that I sell on Etsy, and someone ordered it off my website and I was like, oh shit, I gotta bust one of those out. And I literally had just enough fragrance oil for one, and then I went and fixed my inventory. That leads me into my next thing, which is sync and update your inventory. Updating inventory is usually the last thing on my checklist, which is insane because that's something that my customers or my consumers are faced with, right? And it's something that should actually be more on the forefront of my brain. And if you're able to sync between your website and another platform that you're selling on so that the inventory, I'm going to say the word again, but is synced, then I would definitely do that so that you don't have to keep track of inventory on too many different platforms. The last thing I want to touch on for products as of right now, because honestly, I have so much to learn still, and I'm sure that there will be things that hit me after I film this video of like, oh, I should have said that. But for now, this was just a running list that I had. I have consistently made changes to like everything. I started off with these black tins that I was getting off Amazon, and then I changed to these cement vessels. Before any of that, I was actually gonna sell glass jars. Like I was changing things often, and I felt, even now I'm changing things. Like I have on my cement vessels these adorable little square, sometimes rectangle labels, and I am going to adjust my labels on my cement vessels again because I'm always in the creative zone, and I try to allow myself to be as creative as I want to, because guess what? It's my company and I actually get to do whatever I want. And I think that's, well, like, you know, within reason. I can't like not pay taxes. But as far as like my branding and my logos and my design, all of that is up to me. And if I want to change something, I want to change it, and I'm going to. So I think just being okay with evolving your brand as you go and not feeling like you're being inconsistent with branding shouldn't be something that you should feel bad about. I felt really weird about it, and now I'm feeling really, I'm okay. I'm fine. Let's move on to engagement. When I talk about engagement, I really do mean people engaging with your product, whether it be on social media, they're reposting, they're commenting, or whether it's having people come back with a discount code, people engaging with your product in one way or another. One of the things I am still kind of on the fence about, but it's something I think is worth bringing up, is having sales. I think that sales are amazing when you're selling a product that has to do with the sense of smell, and people can't smell it over the internet. So when you have a sale and someone has never tried your candles before or your product before, they might be more inclined to feel safe to try it because, hey, at least I got it on sale, right? The problem with having sales so consistently, even though I think that they are a great thing, is I've been hearing a lot about like, don't train your consumer. And I don't even like that word train, as if you don't have a mind of your own. But essentially, don't allow your consumers to get used to relying on sales. For a candle company, I have to remember that not everybody burns a candle as fast as I do. Like, I burn candles all day, every day. Because I love candles so much, I made a business out of it. Like, that's why. And not everyone has the same mentality as me. Some people buy like 4 candles and use them throughout a whole year. And so those same people might only come back and shop during a sale. That isn't necessarily bad. However, it sort of creates this mindset of, I don't want to pay full price for this product ever, because now I know that they have sales every single season. So I'll just wait for the seasonal sales or, something like that. And I'm all for a sale. I'm all for getting something not full price. However, it's really important that I have people buying at full price right now so that I can get the foundations of my business set up, because running a business costs money, and the money that I get from my candles goes right back into my business. If I'm consistently selling things on sale, I am jipping some part of my business that won't get that extra bit of money. And it's not even extra money, it's just the money that it's owed. So if I'm allowing people to kind of cut corners in a sale so frequently, then I'm having to cut corners in my business frequently. So again, a sale is good every now and then to get people to take a leap in faith in your product, or a leap of faith in your product, but having sales frequently doesn't benefit the business owner as far as a small business goes if you do it too much. That was a lot to say about sales. The other thing I've learned about engagement is that social media presence is so important. You guys, I've done so much research in how to grow a business on Instagram. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it. And things with Instagram are changing so frequently, but to be in the know of what changes are coming with the social media platforms that you're utilizing is imperative to running your business if your platforms are mostly social media. The reason why social media is so important with small businesses is because it's essentially like free marketing. Sometimes I pay to boost my post so that it shows up as an ad for other people. But honestly, I haven't even seen great results from that, and I wouldn't even recommend it. As free as you can in the beginning is really important. So figuring out how to boost yourself on social media. Like, for example, I post more reels now than I post pictures. And that's because reels are to sort of catch new eyes instead of posting a photo that is really for your followers already. So I try to have a good balance of both, but for a while there, I was only really focused on reels and I wasn't really focused on posting any pictures. Whatever social media platform you are on, you just want to research how to utilize it in the best way possible so that you can maximize the time that you're spending on there, maximize the effort that you're putting into it, and making sure that it's worth it and paying off. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Another thing that's really important for engagement is growing an email list. And that's because these are people who are genuinely interested in your product. We do actually check emails because as adults, we have jobs, and a lot of our jobs have stuff to do in our emails. So we see our emails often, even if we don't, even if it's work or personal email, whatever it is. Everything has been digitized. So if you need an invoice sent to somebody, it's gonna be through an email. So again, we're checking our emails all the time. I'm not the best at sending out marketing emails. I'm just not. And I am with Wix, and I can only send out a couple a month. I think it's 3 a month. I send out one every 2 months, maybe. I'm not great at it. And part of that is because I hate promo emails, and the other part of it is, I just forget. There has to be a benefit to signing up for the email list, right? So not only like, hey, I'm gonna offer you 15% off or 20% off, whatever it might be for signing up for the email list, but also I try to make sure that my email list actually hears everything first. If there's a new scent that I'm launching, I want them to hear it first. If I'm gonna have a sale coming up, I want them to hear it first. And then I will take it over to social media. So there has to be a benefit of being signed up to the email list. The reason why an email list is so important is because you have a community of people who are willing to be a part of a list where they hear the information first. So that is your target audience. Another thing with engagement that I've noticed is people really want to feel a sense of community. The way that I brand my business is about who I am as a person and what I stand for. So my business is queer, Black, and woman owned, and I create communities on my social platform, well, a community with all of those sub-communities. And I think that's super important. People want to have their voices heard. They want to be validated. I want to be validated. And I think it's nice to have the sense of community, and it boosts engagement. I might post something and someone's like, oh, this is too political. Then bye, it's not for you, because that's what this is. A couple weeks ago, I had posted a reel, and it was about, when they support my Black-owned, queer-owned, woman-owned business. And then somebody posted a comment saying, like, you shouldn't support a business based on those factors alone. I'm paraphrasing what he said. And he was a white male. And I just did some little, oh, it's a reel. You must be fun at parties response. But in my head, I'm like, then understand that this space is not for you, because every other space is, So making sure that your community is really important, because I want my community to have a safe space. Okay, another thing for engagement, another thing I'm not very good at, is creating promo for your launch. Getting people really excited about the fact that you are going to launch fall candles. I did really well for my fall launch last year, and then we hit winter, and the winter launch was okay, but that's because it was holiday gift giving season. And then spring, I was like, ooh, I'm ready. I got all this stuff, I'm ready. And it was kind of quiet. And I think I got so confident about holiday gift giving season that I didn't feel like I had to do much promo for spring, which was wrong. So I do think that part of the reason why my launch for spring wasn't as successful as I thought it would be was because I didn't really promote it very much. There wasn't a reason for people to get excited about my product. And then one last thing for engagement is that you can really learn from anybody, no matter where you're at. I have done a couple of boothing events or whatever you want to call it, where I go somewhere and they have a bunch of different vendors. And I've been able to talk to even if I don't sell anything at that event, I've been able to talk to so many different vendors that have a different perspective of my business than I do, right? I know what my business should be or what I want it to be, but how it comes across to other people is different. So it's valuable to listen to what they're saying and what they're observing. And I had people telling me you've got it. You've got it. You've got the design, you've got the personality, you've got the mindset, you have the things. And that was really cool because people were telling me that my stuff was the shit, which I need to hear sometimes. Additionally, people have other ideas that I've never even thought of. For example, I thought it was pretty clear that I make the cement vessels, but people are telling me that part of the story isn't very obvious. So I need to make adjustments to let people know the value that you are getting in this product is huge because it's all handmade, everything. And I don't think I would have known that had I not talked to other people about my business. So talk to people who are like-minded in their businesses, who are kind of go-getters and they think on their feet. But the reality is you can learn from anyone, even if they're not in your industry. Let's move on from engagement to time management / boundaries. Number one thing, organization is key to time management. That is not a shocker, and yet I still can't figure out how to do it. My office is consistently a mess, or my candle studio is consistently a mess. And it's because not everything has a place, and I don't know where things are supposed to go, and it frustrates the crap out of me. And I'm not good at putting things back if it just all goes in a drawer. Like, no, I need different compartments in that drawer. This is for these labels, this is for that label, this is for this tape, this is for the scissors. Like, it really needs to be separated. So right now it's fairly organized, even though I don't do well at putting things back, which then makes it chaotic. But I have some organizational things up my sleeve that I want to implement in my candle studio. So I'm excited to like buy new stuff. Because like right now I have a folding table as my desk. I had a desk, but it was too small, and the folding table was bigger. So we're working with what we've got right now. Whether you're doing this full time, or whether you have a full-time job and this is your side hustle, or whatever you want to call it, it is important to have a schedule. What are you doing on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays? And then what are you doing over the weekends? Like that kind of stuff. For example, I will only ship out in the summer Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I will not ship out Thursday, and I will not ship out Friday, because I don't want those things sitting in the post office because it's too hot and my candles will melt. So I know that on those days, I'm going to the post office. What are my mornings for? Are my mornings for checking emails, or are my mornings for making cement vessels so that they can dry while I then go check my emails? Like, what is sort of the order of operation throughout the day and throughout the week? I'm on summer break right now. I'm a high school teacher, so I have all day every summer basically. But when it comes to going back into the classroom throughout the week, I'm gonna have a completely different schedule. So I'm soaking it in while I can, but it's important for me to feel like I know that these are the things that I need to do today, and if not, then this thing can get moved to tomorrow. And like, I'm not gonna forget about it because I have it written down. Which leads me to say, stop and take a breath throughout the day. You are not gonna do everything from every single section of your business throughout the day. It's just not possible. So you are not gonna be able to make all the vessels. You're not gonna be able to fill all the candles. You're not gonna be able to label all of your boxes and answer all of your emails and go to the post office and eat lunch and drink water and take a pee break. Like, it's just, you're not gonna be able to hit every single little area every day. And that's okay, because if you do, you're gonna go insane. Because I currently am. Another thing with time and boundaries is when it comes to like packaging things or getting things ready to be presented, I will like separate those throughout the days. So one day I will have a day where I prep my boxes. The other day I will have for like getting my jars or my vessels ready to get filled and labeled, filled with candle wax. Sorry, my brain is starting to slow down at this moment because it's been a long time since I've like delivered this much information at a time. So I have my prep days, and then I have my completion days. I'm prepping the product, I'm completing the product. The last thing I have for like time management / boundaries would be have things ready to go. Let me tell you what I mean. The way that I make my labels is I make them on Canva, I download the image, and then I put it up on my Avery label templates, and then I print them. I was only saving the Canva image on my computer, like I have them in different files, and I wasn't downloading, or I was downloading, but I wasn't saving the ready to print labels, if you know what I mean, because you fill in your labels and then you print it, and it has to download and you print it. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I don't know why I was only saving my image, because what I have to do then is every single time I'm ready to print a rose water label, I have to drag it into my template on Avery, and then I have to go through the whole process of downloading and printing, when I could just have that download already on my computer, and when I'm ready to print more rose water labels, I just go into my computer and print more rose water labels instead of having to go through the whole process. So that's just a quick example of what I mean. Have things prepared, have them ready to go. I love when it's like full candle making day. Like, let's get it poppin', let's melt some of that wax, let's measure some of that fragrance oil, like let's get the heat gun, let's get it, let's go. And my vessels are already prepped. I already have my wicks in them. It's just like the best feeling. I already have my warning labels at the bottom. Like, it's just great. Have your things prepped, have them ready to go, let it happen with ease. Okay, let's move on to money because this is like kind of a long video. First and foremost, it's important to have a business bank account. Now, I only have 2 right now. I have a checking and a savings, but I should have more. I should have one specifically to save for taxes. I should have one specifically to save to pay myself. Like, I should have different accounts, but for right now, I only have those 2. The reason why it's important to have a business bank account is so that you are safe from somebody taking all of your personal assets. So just think about that. So have your business bank accounts and then create your budgets. Once you start like making product and selling product and kind of seeing how much you're buying in supplies and how much you are selling and making, what goes to you, what goes to your business. Right now, everything goes to my business. It just is what it is. So I need to figure that out for myself. But once you start seeing the income of money and then you spending it back into your business, start making budgets based off of those numbers. I know that I spend a lot of money on raw materials. I just do. And I think it would be really important for me to have a budget for my fall launch to make sure that I'm not just spending money and money and money and money and then being like, oh, snap. I don't have anything left in my bank account to ship these items. My apologies, everyone. My camera decided to die, but my audio continued recording. So the last few minutes of this is going to be podcast style. So make sure that you have budget set up for shipping, for raw materials, for promoting if you want to spend money on promoting, to pay yourself if you're in a place to pay yourself, all those sorts of things. Another tip is buying in bulk saves money. It just does. Buy it in bulk. I buy my wax in bulk because it saves me money. I buy my boxes in bulk because it saves me money. Fragrance oils, I don't buy in bulk unless they're my classic scents because they're around all year and I don't have to like use it by the end of the winter. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you are buying in bulk. It feels weird because for me, I don't spend a lot of money on stuff in like my personal life. So dropping like $400 or $600 on wax feels weird. It feels weird. Like the psychological aspect of that is hard for me to get through. But at the end of the day, if you are going to need to use wax all the time, then buy it in bulk because you're saving the money. Another thing is to try to shop locally for boxes and things like that. If you can go to the store and get your labels and it's actually cheaper than buying them off Amazon, then do that. I get mine online because Avery sells them again in bulk and it's actually cheaper. And then the last thing for money is none of this money should be yours until you consistently are making relatively the same amount of money in the same month. Because then you can start to understand, this is where my business is at. This is about how much money I would make even on my worst month. And then you can sort of start getting into the habit of paying yourself. And then you can understand what it's like to maybe bring somebody else onto the team. So just none of that money is yours until you are making a consistent amount of money, even on your worst month. I haven't even gotten there yet. Maybe I have. I need to sit down and look at the math because maybe I haven't. I just haven't noticed it. But I know that there are weeks and weeks and weeks where I go without selling a candle, which means I don't get money for that month. Which also goes to say that if the more platforms that you have that you're monetizing, the better. Like, for example, I monetize my YouTube videos and that's money that I get. It's not great money because I don't post consistently and I don't have as many views as I used to. I've sort of made like a channel shift as of recently where I stopped doing my sit down videos and I started doing the vlogging situation, and now I'm kind of liking the sit down videos more. So, and that's okay. You can change, and you can alter your stuff as times change, but just know it's important to have different streams of income so that you're not just relying on this one thing, but it's all encompassing of my business. So like now my YouTube channel is named after my business, so it is part of my business. That is all I have for this video. If you haven't already, please head to milkycandlecompany.com and take a look at the amazing scents that I have. Right now I have a brown girl collection that I think I'm just gonna keep around all year long, and I'm super excited about it. Right now I have Melanin, Thick Peach with 2 C's, and Don't Touch My Hair, and I'm looking forward to adding to that collection because they're super, super cute in their brown vessels and they smell amazing. And they're also some of them are nostalgic. Like Don't Touch My Hair smells like hair products I've used since I was a kid. I hope you look forward to seeing some of the business changes that I have coming up, and I know I'm really excited to implement them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. My cat is trying to play with my microphone string. Bye.